Hey all, welcome to Share Trek. This is Raj here. And friends, today I'm trying out a new format and we need to have fresh things in the channel. So I would like you to watch this video and give me your feedback in the comments. Today I want to talk to you about two themes. The first theme is an interesting communication out of Moderna about mRNA vaccines to treat cancer and other conditions by 2030. And the other theme is about how the world is inching back towards a pre-pandemic normal. So let me give you my explanations. Let's get started. Welcome back, friends. Moderna plans to develop a set of vaccines targeting cancer, heart disease, and other conditions by 2030. A spokesperson for the company confirmed. Moderna's chief medical officer, Dr. Paul Burton, said he is confident that these vaccines will be ready by the end of the decade and possibly even within the next 5 years. Thanks to advances in messenger RNA or mRNA technology, the company is already working on mRNA-based cancer vaccines, including a personalized vaccine for melanoma, which has shown promising results in clinical trials. Additionally, Moderna is developing an mRNA vaccine for respiratory syncytial virus or RSV, and one approach, it seems, to create personalized mRNA vaccines that are tailored to an individual patient's cancer cells is by using genetic sequencing to identify unique tumor antigens, and these vaccines can then be used to stimulate the immune system to target and destroy the cancer cells using the antigens as a target. While this approach is still in the early stages of development and clinical testing, it holds promise for the future of cancer treatment. And given that Moderna is a specialist on mRNA and they have an mRNA platform, and they have ramped up COVID vaccine production in such a short period of time, they have excellent expertise. And when they make a statement like this, it makes me really optimistic. And here is hoping for the best going forward. Now let me go on to the next theme. Right? The next theme is going to be that the US national emergency to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic ended Monday when President Joe Biden signed a bipartisan congressional resolution to bring the emergency to a close after 3 years. If Joe Biden hadn't signed the declaration, it would have taken another few weeks and it would have expired automatically. However, it's a good thing that he signed up, and that shows a good deal of confidence on part of the government that COVID is in the rearview mirror. And this has been done without much fanfare, and reasonably so. Psychologically, it allows the people to just wander out of the COVID mindset and get into a more normal mindset. So probably an announcement would have spooked people. Even though there is still a lot of COVID cases going on, there are some new infectious variants which have been reported. But it seems that there is a sufficient amount of herd immunity. At least that's what Google said when it announced that it no longer requires people to be vaccinated for COVID in order to enter its building. Google says that the world is a different place at this point of time. There is sufficient herd immunity, and there is no need for vaccination to get into the building. So this news from the government and Google makes me optimistic that we are slowly but steadily getting back to normal times, and potentially more working from office, and hence revival of the economy as we used to know it before COVID is more likely now than before. And meanwhile, on a separate theme altogether, this again is the theme of heralding good times. The IMF said that 5 years from now, global growth is expected to be around 3%, the lowest medium-term forecast in a World Economic Outlook for over 30 years, and added that in the short term, IMF expects global growth to be 2.8% this year and 3% in 2024, slightly below the fund's estimates published in January. I think the higher growth numbers would essentially come out of growth from India, China, and South Korea, because India is already on the track with China falling close behind, and they are going to be the powerhouse going forward, pulling up the growth numbers. Because UK is definitely having a lot of trouble with its economy post-Brexit, and it needs some time to rectify everything, build new trade agreements, and get its economy in shape, and for the businesses to settle and get into shape. Likewise for Europe, they have a crisis with Russia. The Russia-Ukraine war is putting a drain out there. So those things are there. So I think India and China and South Korea will have to pump the GDP growth, and potentially Australia might also chip in. Meanwhile, the Fed balance sheet is reducing steadily, and the new information out here in Canada is that it's likely that the next rate announcement by Bank of Canada, which is likely to happen either today or tomorrow, the Bank of Canada will retain the rates steady. There will be no increase, and they may warn of a potential increase, but it's just tough talk. That's not going to happen. Some of the analysts are predicting that by October there will be a rate cut. I can't wait to see all my shares floating above the red and climbing into the green. And I guess, friends, all of you are looking for the same thing. I bet many of you have red portfolios and you have a tough time explaining to your spouse how come it is so red. But this is how things happen in the stock market, and hopefully we get into rate cuts somewhere around October. I think October looks more realistic to me, and when that happens, you bet that things are going to be moving upwards. And that brings me back to my focus again on CRISPR, Bluebird and Ginkgo Bioworks. All of them are looking cheap, but at this point of time I think that they could be cheaper if only I knew when the turnaround was going to take place, because I know for sure that if I don't pick them in the cheap, as soon as the turnaround comes, I'll be kicking myself because the prices will go up very quickly. I think Bluebird, I read somewhere, it's not reliable information because I couldn't find a press release from Bluebird, but I read somewhere that FDA had asked them questions about manufacturing for lower cell. That's what was the holdup, and I believe that Bluebird has given that information to FDA and is expecting to hear back within 3 weeks. Again, this is unconfirmed information. Please don't hold me to it, and please do not take any action on Bluebird based on what I am saying. I'm just sharing with you what I found out in one corner of the web. I can't say that it is reliable because I went to the Bluebird press release section and they didn't have anything out there to this effect. I went into the FDA page for lower cell and I didn't find anything out there. So it could just be rumors, but just letting you guys know that this is what I came across in one distinct location. It's not been corroborated with anything, but just thought I would share it with you. If you guys know anything about it, please put it in the comment. Maybe I have not seen the right place where this person might have picked up the information. With that said, I would like to bring this video to an end. And friends, as I mentioned before, I'm experimenting with the format, trying to bring new kinds of videos. If you like this format, please do not hesitate to press a like out there. And also you can put some suggestions in the comment, because this is your channel and I'm making these videos for you. I'd be really happy to hear from you the things that I do which you like, so that I can continue enhancing them. And please keep the language kind and gentle so that I do not get demotivated. And that said, you can also use the super thanks feature if you want to support this channel. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.